Okay, I'm live here. I don't know if anybody can actually find this. We'll just try it out. Um, for whatever reason, I cannot start the live stream from the event that I had. I'm still working on it. Um, I'll just keep talking here. Okay, I see there are two people here. Who's in here watching? Actually able? Good. All right. Real quick, guys, how are the people who are, and you are banned. And for those of you who are watching, how are you finding this? Is this just directly from my YouTube channel, or is it from the links I provided over on Facebook? Is there any sound coming through? Okay, so so it coming in from YouTube. I'm trying to get this where okay, so there's one. Just got your message. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and then just tell people trying to watch the other stream that it's going to be over here on the main Facebook page or YouTube page. All right, so I've got looks like got to remove another person. Lovely. All right, so can I hey Juan, if you're gonna comment, go ahead and comment on the YouTube. It's gonna be really difficult for me to go back and forth between okay. You got it? All right. We got it's okay. It's okay. So it looks like 5 people here now, and we're ready for Q&A. I have everything set up around me right now. I've got my entire band composition library here. I've got all my instruments. If I need to go get something out of the other room, I can do that here pretty quickly. But all right. So let's see, we got about 6 people watching. What do we have for questions and answers or questions? I'll try and provide as many answers as I can. Anybody? 6, now down to 3 people watching. I know you were kind of excited about this one. Okay. Is the octo contrabass lower than the contrabassoon? All right, there is exactly one octo contrabass clarinet in the world. It is in a museum in France. That instrument is keyed down to a written low D, which will sound C0. And that is the C 1 octave below the piano. So that instrument, though it does not work right now, is will go down nearly an octave below most contrabassoons. Hi, Emily. I'm glad you're able to find it. I'm sorry about having all those troubles earlier. I'm going to try and figure that out. Did you have a bet going XX would win X B flat? Okay, Bill, are you ready to get banned from the channel? Emily, my YouTube channel is full of trolls, unfortunately, and I have to do a lot of banning on my YouTube channel. It's a wonderful thing. Bill, you better be nice then, because you're about to get banned. All right, so Juan, you want to learn about percussion writing. What particularly are you looking at with in the way of percussion? Mallet percussion. Okay. So with mallet percussion, it really depends. There is so much you can do with mallet percussion. I go back a lot of times and look at Percy Granger. Granger is really the first person to really explore the mallet percussion. I would suggest Lincolnshire Posey is probably not the piece you want to look at for mallet percussion. Find the In a Nutshell suite, and the one that's played for band most. I'll get to your question here in a second. The piece played for band most frequently that's really heavy in the mallet percussion is the Gumsuckers March. And it uses just a whole panoply of mallet percussion. But that is from 1912. So that's a bit older style, but it's really, really effective. Some other stuff to look at. I actually really like David Maslanka's mallet percussion writing. Symphony 4, I know, has some really good stuff, including bowed marimba, which you just don't see that often. But if you can think of some specifics, I can probably gear you toward more stuff. All right. So you want the clarinet family to be lower than the bassoons. Well, currently, the bassoon family wins. Sorry. We have contrabassoons and the contraforte both go down to written A0. That's the bottom A at the piano, and the biggest contrabass clarinet we've got will only go down to B flat 0. And we have to exclude the octos because the octos, we know of one of each. While there are 3 octo contra altos that have reportedly been made, none, only one is extant, and then the one contrabass clarinet is, or octo contrabass clarinet is not in working order. That said, I did learn a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, that someone in England is currently building a new octo contrabass clarinet. Is there such a thing as an A bass clarinet? Yes. They have existed. Selmer made about 6 in the 1980s into the 1990s. I'll get to your question in a second. So there are some Selmer A bass clarinets out there. There are some older ones. I do cover the A bass clarinet in a bit of detail in my book on band orchestration. I even have a photo of one. But for all intents and purposes, you're not going to see an A bass clarinet. They are they're museum pieces, except for those 6 Selmers. And from what I've talked to about repair techs, they're not great instruments. Though I was talking to Steve Fox the other day, and he is currently in the talks to possibly build the first really modern A bass. All right, Emily, my band conductor dislikes cheesy music for lower level bands. How can you prevent your simpler band music from sounding cheesy? Oh, okay. I think a lot of that is you have to get away from the cliched uh, boom chick, the percussion parts. I think a lot of that really comes into play. The problem with early band music is you have to keep everybody active all the time. And I learned this from my stint as being a band director. Percussion is the worst. If the percussionists are sitting there not doing anything, they will literally light the band hall on fire. So you have to use them um, more than you should use them in a piece of music. Um, so that's uh, yeah, people active most of the time in the lower grades of music. That said, there are ways you can make the music less cheesy. I think you can get a little bit more adventurous with chord progressions. So much of the early beginner band music is like 1 4 5 2, just simple chord progressions, and I think that's um, Luan, you were talking about mallet percussion in like early beginner band music and how to not keep it cheesy. If that's the case, the percussion being active, as long as they are doing something relatively frequently, and this only is going to apply to younger players. The more advanced, by the time you get to high school players and advanced college professional, you don't have to worry about them because physically these players have matured enough to not burn things down. So percussionists should be used to sitting there waiting patiently. The best example of that is always the cymbal crash in the Bruckner 7. One cymbal crash in a 70-minute long work, and percussionists have missed it before. Imagine missing your only note. Okay, Bill, thank you for asking a nice question this time. What do you think about the subcontra bassoon being made currently? I'm talking to Richard Bobo nearly daily about the project. In fact, I am a huge proponent of it. I think that we need an instrument other than the pipe organ that's capable of playing the 32-foot register, and it is a good choice. The reason it's a better choice than the octo contra clarinets is the overtone series. And it's going to provide a more audible sound than the clarinets will. And that's just due to physics. It's nothing against the clarinets. But once you start getting that low, you need to have more overtones than the sub-contra clarinets can produce. Can bassoon be a solo instrument in a concerto accompanied by band? Of course. Of course. There are plenty of bassoon concertos with band out there. You just have to score it a little bit more lightly. But no reason. Bassoon, a good bassoon player can be just as loud as a good clarinet player. The only thing is there's I'll read that comment here just a second. It's just the range of it. The range doesn't project as well as the upper range of the clarinet. All right, there's a piece by Eric Essenwald's famous choral guy with lots of held notes, 7/9 chords and suspensions. Good idea for band. It's in G flat major. What do you mean by good idea for band? You have to explain that a little bit. Are you thinking like to arrange it for band? Do you have permission from the publisher or composer first? That's the first step you've got to go through. Is it in copyright? If you don't have copyright permission, don't even begin. It's not going to be worth the legal hassles. In general, choral pieces can work okay for band transcriptions. I've done a few of them myself. Excuse me. But the problem I have, and this is the problem with actually one of my least favorite band works, which some people will find sacrilegious, is the I do not like O Magnum Mysterium, because it's like a pipe organ. It's constant playing nonstop all the time, and it is tiring for the players. And especially for your low woodwinds, if you don't have enough low woodwinds in there, it just doesn't work very well. By the end of that 5-6 minute long work, you're done. You don't want to play the rest of the concert. So those are big issues with choral pieces if they are scored like organ pieces. What do I think about the bass trombone of the band? It's a standard instrument in the band. It's pretty much always there unless you're dealing with junior high band. And even when I was teaching junior high band, I had a bass trombone. So it's not an out of the ordinary instrument. It's pretty common. Yes, love the low reeds. I'm sitting here surrounded. In fact, right